Yes. Rock and roll. Cheers. Guys, how are you? I'm in the boat, as you might have gathered, just doing a bit of tidying up. Yes, there's my freezer and, well, my little cool box, electric cool box from Halfords. There's my pegs for doing, putting the old sheet up for when we're getting a lot of sun. Obviously we get a lot of sun here in Greece, obviously. And they're great for pegging up a big sheet to block the sun, to give you some shade, etc. But of course I've got my nice cup of Rosalie tea. Oh yes, beautiful. So I hope you're all okay, guys. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks for coming on board. I've had about 10 new subscribers in the last 10 days pretty much. So thanks for coming on board, and keep in touch. And it's always good to hear from you. I was doing a bit of tidying up. I'm having to keep the door shut because some of the rain's coming in. It's absolutely throwing it down with rain at the moment. Look at it, look. Oh dear. And I better shut the door because we're going to get very wet. Anyway, alright. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch up with you another day. Rock and roll. Gently, guys, just one more thing. I got a great book from Amazon, and excuse me, I've often wondered how a captain becomes a captain of a boat. Not a little boat like mine, but I'm talking a large passenger liner. And it's often intrigued me since I've had a boat. How do they actually get to where they're getting, or how do they actually get to where they got? And I bought this book, not probably a good omen to have on my boat, or any boat for that matter, and that's the Titanic Captain, The Life of Edward John Smith, by G.J. Cooper. And it's an absolutely fantastic read. So if you get a chance to grab this book from Amazon, it's well worth reading. I've only got halfway through it, but it's been quite an eye-opener. He was quite some fella, actually. In fact, the whole family were from Stoke-on-Trent in the UK. Oh yes, Hanley actually. And his statue is in the Memorial Gardens of Hanley, I understand. And it's an absolutely awesome read. So far, I've only got halfway through it. So anyway, that's what it's called. It's the Titanic Captain, The Life of Edward John Smith by G.J. Cooper. Alright? It's an absolutely fantastic read. There's his statue. And in this book, tells you the life from a little boy, for about all his background and his family in Stoke-on-Trent. And it takes you through his life, how he got into boating, through his brother, who also was a captain of a big passenger liner, who inspired Edward John Smith. And it takes you right the way through his whole life. He was old school, and he was so qualified, it was unbelievable what he actually did. And I can tell you a couple of little things. I won't give too much away, because as I say, there's shockers almost every 5 pages, quite a few surprises. But one of them was he was overqualified for a lot of the boats that he captained. Well overqualified, but one of the reasons at that particular time there were mainly 2 shipping companies ferrying passengers from America to the UK and back and forth, and he worked on tankers. He's been all around the world doing all the tankers, Japan, Australasia, Canada, everywhere. He's been literally everywhere. And but anyway, he really loved the look of the new passenger liners that were coming into Liverpool docks, and that was his inspiration, and that's where he wanted to be, and that's what he worked towards and achieved. But a couple of things. There was an incident on one of the trips where the chef slit his own throat with his butcher's knife on deck in front of the captain, and the first in command actually lost the plot totally, and ended up in a mental home because of that incident. Okay, so there's one little shocker for you. And one of the other things was that he actually took a post that was 5 posts down to where he was actually qualified to be. He went from captain to 3rd officer, just to enable him to get onto the passenger liners. So as I say, it's an amazing read so far. Anyway, like I say, I've only done half the book so far, but it looks pretty good. It's a great read, so check it out. Right, the rain stopped now. Pretty much, it's just drizzling now, and I've got one wet carpet. Which look at this. Oh, it's coming off my roof. Look. Oh, Mother Mary. Mother Mary. There we are. It's somewhat a bit wet. Anyway, not to worry. I'm on the boat. Doesn't matter whether it's sun shining or raining. It's great being on board. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe.